Hello, everyone. My name is Donna Ratchford. I am a teacher with Shelby County Schools in Memphis, Tennessee, and I am here to do tech tips with Donna Ratchford. So, I sent around a survey to my colleagues about things that they were interested in learning about, and a few of them responded with Google tools. So, this is going to be my first series in about Google. So, the first tool that I am going to talk about is Google Docs. Google Docs is a great website, a great document site to use to create and share documents. One of the things that people sometimes don't realize is that you can just type in docs.google.com and it'll take you to Google Docs, and you can start working there, and it's going to ask you to create an account, and that way all of your documents will be saved to that account. So when you're working on Google Docs, make sure it's the email or Google account that you want it to be, and you'll see like a little picture or something on the side, and that'll be for your Google account. So when you log into Google Docs, you'll see a screen that looks kind of like this, and it'll be a plus sign. This plus sign is where you create your document. So you click that plus sign and you can start creating from there. Google Docs is similar to Microsoft Word. The difference between Google Docs and Microsoft Word is that everything that you create on Google Docs is saved in a cloud format. So it's not just saved on your computer and tied to a certain device. I've created documents on Google Docs, and I've been able to access it in other cities and states. So that is one thing that I really like about Google Docs. So here's my untitled document, and I'm sure it looks familiar. The first thing I like to do is to name it. So there is a little section that says untitled document. You just click on here and create whatever you want to call it. So maybe I want to call it math standards, and maybe I teach fourth grade. Okay, and I'll just name it that. So you can use it just like you would any other Word document. The cool thing about Google Docs is you can change it up. So maybe you don't want a plain document. You can go to page setup and change the color. And maybe you want it to be blue. So it's not just a plain white document. And you can use this to create printables, activities, or handouts for your students. You can insert images. You would go to insert image. You can upload any clip art from your computer, or you can search the internet and Google will pull up images for you. So maybe you want a cute puppy, and then you click insert, and now my image is there. And I know this has nothing to do with math standards, but maybe you just want a picture of a dog on there. I don't know. One thing that's different from Microsoft Word and Google Docs is, for the moment, you only can use the fonts from the Google library. So it doesn't have some of those fonts that you may really love, that you download from Teacher Pay Teachers or that you've bought. So if you want to keep those fonts, one thing I suggest is you create your document in Word using the font, and then save that document as an image, or as a PDF, and then you could insert it into your page. So I'm going to show you an example of something I have on my computer that was created, a PDF that I have or whatever. And I'm sorry, let's see. Um, I should have already had something. Da, 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 da. Oh, I know. So then you go and okay, here's something that I created in Canva, which I can do a Canva tutorial at another time. And Canva has thousands and thousands of fonts. So I created this document in Canva with their fonts that they have, and then I just saved it as an image. And then now I can, keep this picture on my my Google Doc. And I think it's a pretty big picture, so I'm gonna make it a little smaller so it can fit onto the screen. And actually, if you actually can, if you like Clever or you use Clever in your district, here's some awesome apps. So I created this for my faculty, a list of really cool apps to start off with adding to your Clever page, and it has a little description. I can put a link to this document added on if anybody's interested. So anyway, that is just playing around with Google Docs and then just delete. Another thing I like about it is if you make a mistake, you just click undo or redo. So now my app's back on here, right? Okay, so I'm going to show you how you can use Google Documents as just something for you. But another thing that I love about Google Docs is using it with my students. So if your district is a Google district, which means your district has Chromebooks or your one-to-one, then this is easy because the students will already have a Google login, and you can create assignments and send them to your students, and they all will have their own copy. But if you're like me and my district is a Microsoft district, then my students do not have Google login. So I created an account for my classroom, Google account, and all of the students have the password to access it. And it's just named after my school. The kids log in and they go to Google Docs. And when they're ready to work on assignment, they just click the plus sign and they just name it with their name. So I'm just going to pull up some of the documents um, that we've done. So let's say you're working on poetry or creative writing, then the students can create their own documents. So here's some examples of things that the students have created on Google Docs. So I've used this Google Documents with students as young as first grade. And I think kindergartners could learn it. The only thing is, they would need to know how to read because this is a word processing document. So your students who know how to read, let's say you have some students who their handwriting is not quite that good. Google Docs is great for that. So if you give a writing assignment and you're strictly grading on their writing skills, not their handwriting skills, but their writing skills, whether or not that they can use correct grammar and use correct composition for introduction, development, um, explaining things in their paragraphs or whatever your rubric is requiring, then you can have that student type it, and that can be an accommodation. They're still doing the same work as everyone else, but they're just doing it in a different format. So here's the poem, and then they found images from Google and they inserted it into the document. And we have and they had to make a title for their poem, and then they put their name in the top corner. So that's something that we we've done with Google Docs. So that is one of the things I like about using Google Docs. I've also used it to create worksheets and activities for my students. So everything you create, it saves in the Google Docs library. And to get back to the library, you just click this little blue square right here, and it'll take you back to everything that you have created. And this is my classroom one, so it's not my personal one. And so it's not going to be as many work activities on this, but if you've heard of visible thinking, I created my own visible thinking graphic organizers, and I use this to create graphic organizers. I also have used it. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, I think I'm going to have to go to. So I made my own standards cheat sheet. I call it a cheat sheet. I have all the state standards on there, and I just made tables so I can see the progression of the standards easy. And then I have like a little blurb that describes what the standards are for that. And I also use it to create just any kind of little quick note that I want to send home. And the great things about it is I just type in the name of what I'm looking for, and I can have things for over the years I can use over and over. Field trip rosters, activity ideas. And then another cool thing, Google can translate documents. So I had a space trip, field trip letter, and then I just was able to get that translated inside the document. So that's just a little bit about Google Docs. They do have templates. I have not used any of these templates. However, if there's a certain type of Google document that you want to use and you don't want to have to create it from scratch, you can search online and type in Google Doc template. So I was looking for an ebook template, and I just typed in Google ebook template, and I was able to find some, and you can just copy that document and save it, and you'll be able to use that over and over as you make new things. And I'm going to show you how to copy. So let's say I created a worksheet. So here's my standards cheat sheet that I was talking about. So let's say I wanted to make another one for a different grade. Maybe you move grades, or maybe you just want to see more information. So I have the standard for a certain grade, then the next grade above it, and then I have an I can statement and a link to the Common Core. So I'm from Tennessee, so I have the Tennessee standards. So if I like this document and I don't want to have to completely redo it, I can just click File, Make a Copy, and it's going to be the exact same document duplicated. And I would just rename it. So maybe I want to make a sixth grade one, and then it'll have sixth and fifth grade. Or maybe I want to make a seventh grade one, and I would just rename it instead of just saying copy. And the only thing I would need to change now is actually to put those new standards in there. So I hope this is very helpful for you on making Google Documents. Like I said, it's a lot like using Microsoft Word, but if there's something specific that you want help with on Google Docs, just let me know. And I'm here to help. Bye bye. And I hope you enjoy my video.